Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Sabrent CFexpress Type B card reader with USB 3 connectivity. So at a little under $60 US, I'll include a link in the description. This product was sent over from the manufacturer, Sabrent, for review purposes. And even though I am a Sony user, in fact, I'm filming with an FX3 right now that supports CFexpress Type A, I know that many of you out there that subscribe to the channel are Canon and Blackmagic users, and more manufacturers eventually will also join the club of supporting CFexpress Type B. And there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a godsend to the digital imaging world, because essentially what we have now are memory cards with read and write speeds that are the equivalent of NVMe SSDs. So again, at under $60, this seems like a complete no-brainer for anyone with a camera that supports CFexpress Type B. I wish mine did, but of course, as I mentioned, FX3, a no-go. It's just not going to happen with Sony, at least not yet, or maybe ever. But things to remember: you do need to have a USB 3.2 connection on your PC or Mac that you're connecting this to in order to get the most out of the throughput of this reader. Of course, that will also be dependent on the actual CFexpress Type B card that you are using. So bear in mind, they're saying that it tops out, well, compatible with cards that are capable up to 950 megs, and that will be the case, but you may even see higher reads and writes, possibly a gig, a little over that, maybe a little bit less, which is what they're indicating, and better to set those expectations. So let's get this thing out of the box. And again, I think this is, if it's open at the top, I don't need to cut it. I think this is really smart of Sabrent to jump on, but again, they're all about storage, aren't they? And this is a clean little card reader, tiny. I wish they would have given us, some high-speed read and write capability for something other than CFexpress B, because, well, I still use SD cards and they're kind of forgotten to some degree these days. People ask me all the time what the best card readers are just for regular SD cards, and quite frankly, there aren't enough high-end manufacturers or reputable manufacturers making them. It's a lost art, if you will. But this is where things are headed. Sony makes their own Type A, smart of Sabrent to make their own Type B. And build quality on this is excellent. All of Sabrent's drives are full aluminum or metal in general, so build quality is always good. This is no exception. Made in Taiwan, and pretty straightforward in terms of the cables also. I'm assuming we've got a Type-C to Type-C and a Type-C to Type-A, and that's exactly what we have. There's the Type-C to C, there is the Type-C to A, and really you're just going to connect this to the card reader, connected to your PC, and you're in business. Now, for those of you wondering why you would need CFexpress Type B, those of you who know, and I don't need to explain to you, but again, that's why I directed this specifically to people who do not. Basically, with the advancements that we've had in digital imaging, both in still but predominantly in video, things like higher bit rates because of the actual file size, as well as just the formats that people are shooting in. 10-bit, 4K, or 8K, and especially high frame rate once you get to 120 frames at for example, in 4K, and there are many other modes, you're going to need cards that can keep up with the cameras. So essentially, it's just a matter of cameras have gotten to the point that they've outgrown, their capabilities have outgrown the majority of our existing flash storage capabilities. And that's where, yes, Sony and other manufacturers still have the ability for you to use traditional SD cards that are in the highest speed class available, but eventually, in order to get the most out of your Blackmagic camera in this case, or your R5, your Canon, you're going to need a CFexpress B card. And the same applies to my FX3. In order to get the most out of my Sony, I'm going to need a CFexpress Type A card. So basically the only way around that is to not use your video camera to its complete potential, which is a bad idea. And that's where this little guy comes in. So a great idea by Sabrent, and again, really inexpensive. That's another thing that makes me jealous as a Sony user. If I were to buy in to Type A cards right now, the premium is insane on the cards, and then even the card reader is incredibly expensive. We're talking about twice the price of this card reader. You can call that a Sony tax, whatever you want, but either way, again, if you are an owner of a camera that supports CFexpress Type B, you should be using it, and this is likely the card reader you should be using. And I'll probably end up testing this because I'm pretty sure I'm getting some CFexpress B cards from, I think Manfrotto reached out. So I'll keep all of you posted. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Don't forget to hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.